Hello everybody, I'm Dr. Paul, and this is my beautiful wife Lynn, and we're going to pass along some information on plasma energy, its effects, and how we can use it to better our health. A lot of this information is already out there, but a lot of it's in foreign languages, and a lot of it is in accented English that you cannot understand. And a lot of the accented English has poor sentence structure just because English was not their first language. And so we're here to give some clarity to a lot of this information we've been studying for over 3 years, about 4 years now. And so we're going to be doing a series of these videos, 2 or 3 or 4 a week, to get this information out to the mainstream. And one of the things we're going to start with today is we're going to start talking about some of the effects of Lyme disease and how you can support it to live with it easier and better. And Lynn is going to give an introduction to this and get started with it.
Okay, well, basically with the Lyme disease, we have a vial here that we would send out to you. This is our summertime vial. We live in a very cold climate, so sometime in the fall when the temperatures drop below 32 degrees, I'm going to start shipping in this size vial, which is a BPA-free plastic. And the reason for the switch is the small vial is glass. It breaks and freezes. This, we've tested it, we put it in the freezer, froze with liquid in it, froze it solid, took it out, threw it on the floor. It didn't break. That passed our test for not breaking, so that you get your whatever you've ordered from us intact. So to start out with, we had a request from an individual who had worked with her situation of Lyme disease, and she chose to take a non-traditional approach, and she wanted to know if we might be able to help in making a GANS with all the elements that she used that got her over all the Lyme disease expression in her body. So she sent it to us, and we do this with individuals who ask us, and what we do is that we will take the ingredients that you send us and take the research, and then Paul will make a GANS of it. And Paul, do you want to show what it looks like when you've processed it?
This is the GANS of the herbal formula for Lyme disease support. And you can see here in the bottom is all of what we call the GANS, and it's a real fine monoatomic powder. And what we use is the water, the clear water off the top. And this one is detox. And there's a whole variety of herbs in here also, different herbs for detoxing the body. And the same thing here, you can see that it's a very fine powdery substance in the bottom. And that all settles out, and when it settles out, we just pull the water off the top and use that.
And Paul, what does GANS stand for?
GAN stands for gas in the atomic nanosolid state. And that's a long acronym for monoatomic, which is one atom, one free atom at a time. That is, that the atoms are not in combination to form molecules and compounds. They're free, separate, free-floating entities by themselves. That's what makes up the plasmatic field. So that's a very elementary explanation.
And so basically then what we're taking is the plasmatic fields, the plasma energy of what you see in the bottles that he's just demonstrated, which was the complete breakdown of all the herbs and vitamins, essential oils, and roots that were provided for us. So in the Lyme ingredients, there were also some homeopathics that were included. There was vitamin C, selenium, B complex, Peruvian cat's claw, GI microbe, Eleuthero, aminomicrobials, diatomaceous earth, Cudger, Cryptolopus, Seta, Alcarnia, Andrographis, Benesit, Spirobor, Lap, Knotweed, Scutellina, Celoia, and Astragalus. There's also propolis, rosemary, oregano, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, lavender, lemon, and chamomile, plus the GANs of CO2, B9 salts, amino acids, and hemoglobin. So all of these that were added, some of the things that were added were already in separate GANs that Paul had made at another point in time that became a part of this combination. The idea is that you will attach this or put it in a container of water. And what this is going to do is to change the water inside so that it carries the energy of the Lyme relief. And you can use high quality spring water, good quality well water, filtered water, distilled water, and you could even put the vial inside if you want to put it inside of your jar of water. Once you change it overnight for the first time, then you would simply add water to the bottle as you need to. And I always add water a little before it gets to this halfway point. So when it's down about a third, I'll just add more water at night, and then it's always ready to use. Now another way that I use the Lyme relief is that I would put it in a spray bottle. And let's just say that you have some inflammation in a certain area of your body. You could use the Lyme relief and spray it on that part of your body. You can also, if you're really struggling with the symptoms of Lyme, you could add some of this water to your washer water, your washing machine. When you're on you could do an extra rinse when you've run through the whole cycle, and let it just sit there for an hour or two, and then spin it out, and then everything is treated. You don't have to do this over and over. It doesn't expire, it doesn't wear out. So the articles of clothing will probably wear out a couple centuries ahead of the plasma energy.
Now, how do you attach this to the outside of the vial?
You know, I would just take some clear plastic packing tape and put it around. And if this is going to sit on a counter with a lot of traffic around it, I just put some bubble wrap or something protective over it and tape the whole works to the side of the bottle. So that's the best way. Or like I said, you can put it inside. You want to use a clear glass jar or a clear plastic. As you notice on these, you can see the vial inside, even though this is a colored container. So as long as it's translucent and you can see inside, that's appropriate to use. You don't want to use a container like this. You would not want to attach this to here, because the solid opaqueness is going to stop the plasma energy. Now, do you want to go ahead and add something about just some of the things about Lyme disease in the research, as far as what expresses itself and is sometimes lumped together as being Lyme disease?
Well, there are a lot of different symptoms that are attributed to different diseases that have been discovered to be caused by the Lyme spirochetes. And a spirochete is not a bacteria and it's not a protozoan. It's in between. A bacteria, say for instance, is that big. Well, a spirochete is probably about that big, and it's like it looks like a little snake when you look at it under the microscope, and it twists itself into spirals, and it swims with they call them flagellates, and they swim move back and forth as they swim through the water. You can see them under the microscope. You can't see them with a naked eye.
And they're really not the size of your thumb.
No, they're not that. That's just a comparison to a bacteria, which you would reference as that size, in comparison to a spirochete, which would be that size. That's just a reference. It's not an actual size.
So why do you know so much about spirochetes?
Well, I studied veterinary medicine and practiced for 30 years, and spirochetes are common to humans and animals. In fact, a lot of the same ones that infect animals also infect humans. And that's how I know about spirochetes.
Okay, thank you. So do you want to cover some of the things that are discussed as far as lumping together in a container called Lyme disease?
Well, as this research paper that we have here, this was a paper given at the Lyme Disease Summit this year, in April of this year. And there's over 150 symptoms that can be associated with Lyme disease. But a lot of these same symptoms are also associated with many other diseases, such as Lou Gehrig's disease, multiple sclerosis, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and many arthritis, many other diseases. So Lyme disease is a very hard thing to diagnose for sure, And even some of the tests that they do will come back negative when they are actually positive. When repeated over and over, these tests eventually show the presence of Lyme disease in a lot of cases. So it's a very elusive diagnosis. It's hard to nail down, but the big problem is that it causes severe problems and debilitating disease in those who happen to get it. It's transmitted by tick bites. In this paper, they also say it's been established that it's been transmitted by mosquito bites and lice bites. So it's not only the ticks that are carrying it, but the other insects as well. So it's something that we all need to be cognizant of and be aware of. And in our current environment, with all of the electromagnetic frequencies that we have debilitating our body, makes it much worse. In this study, they have shown that those people who are around electromagnetic fields on a regular basis, who work in front of computers and work with the electrical cell towers, cell phone towers and things like this, are much more susceptible to Lyme disease than those who do not work around these things. So we have to be cognizant of the fact that we are living in an electromagnetic soup with all of the devices that we use and are around us day in and day out.
And right there, I might go ahead and mention that we recently did a video on shungite, the shungite magnets that have the shungite, the silver GANs, and the magnets with them. So you might look for that video just for more information on that. Now, a lot of the research that we were also looking at mentioned that it was very important to detox when you're dealing with Lyme disease type symptoms. And so that is one of the containers that Paul has just shown you, which was the detox relief. And when we put that one together, it took over 4 months to develop, and it has over 150 ingredients, including homeopathic remedies, oral chelation remedies, a lot of seeds, berries, roots, silicate, magnesium stearate, silica dioxide, and the list goes on and on. If you go to our website and just bring up detox relief and bring up Lyme relief, you will find the list of the ingredients in here. Now, when we send these out of the country, we are going to send a pair of patches, and the way you will use these patches have been treated with the very same water that you find in the vials. And actually, it's probably a little more water than is in this vial, because obviously they're a little bigger. And what you do with the patches is you're going to set up your jar of water, as I've mentioned, and you're going to put your patches on either side of the jar. It's going to be taped on, you can tie it on, you can rubber band it on. What's been treated is inside a plastic bag, and the whole thing is surrounded with plastic packing tape. So they're pretty sturdy, and you're not going to be manhandling them, most likely. So if they should get a little worn, you just take the whole works and put it in another plastic bag and tape that all shut and put it back on your jar. So that's the way we send those outside of the country. And I want to mention that when you look at our website, you'll see some different offers that include our basic plasma energy station, which is the very first thing that we started out with. And we've added many things to it. And so we have what we call the medium preparedness package. We have what we call the large preparedness package. And we have what we call the plasma energy pantry. And my whole idea in doing this is that if there was ever a situation where you were not able to get delivery, or your store, your drugstore did not have delivery of what you're used to getting all the time, right when you go to pick it up, or within a couple of days, you would have the plasma energy form of it in your care and available for you to use. And when you have this, for instance, with the patches, and once your water is set up, you can make more patches, or you can take some of that water and put it in a vial. You can share it with other people. So it's important to know that it does not diminish in strength. It's not going to wear out. It doesn't have an expiration date. So it continuously can be shared with others. Did you want to add to that?
This is something that you get one time and you can use it forever, and you can pass it on to your friends and keep duplicating it because the plasma energy is captured in the water, and it duplicates itself and duplicates itself. So this is not, when you get it, it's not a subscription that you got to renew every month or anything like that. You just get it one time and you can use it from then on, as long as you don't destroy your mother source. So that's why it's called never-ending plasma energy.
Well, we want to thank you. Be sure when you watch the video, if you would like to share it with others, we'd appreciate it if you give us a thumbs up. If you'd like, we'd appreciate your subscribing to our channel. And you can find out lots more at our website, plasmaenergysolution.com. That's plasmaenergysolution.com. We have videos on there. We have audio interviews that we've done. We have frequently asked questions. There's testimonials. There's blogs. There's just a lot of information on that website. So be sure and take a look at it. And if you have any questions, you might put them in the comments, and at a future time we'll try to address those. We're going to try to get several videos out a week, or at least two videos a week, and cover all the things that we've been making for our plasma energy pantry and how to use them. So thank you very much.
Yeah, there is a lot of information coming out in the next four or 5 months of all of the stuff that we have studied and written down. There's a lot of blog posts on our website, and there is already a lot of information there. There are testimonials from people who have used these products and have gotten good results. And the next one we're going to do is going to be on eye diseases, cataracts, and dry eye, retinal degeneration, and that'll be coming up in the next day or two. In the meantime, be sure and share this video with your friends and give us a thumbs up on this. And we need the encouragement to keep bringing this information out. There are some who do not go along with it, some who do not believe it, but you have to try it. And we appreciate your encouragement. And thank you for watching this video.
And thank you again. And also I'll mention there is almost always a special of some type on our homepage. So be sure and take a look at that. And we do welcome those of you who wish to be affiliates. And generally that information is attached to any special that we are running. So thanks again. We'll see you in our next video.